What would you do if the mafia just killed your family? I can only imagine one thing. I'd handle it just like Frank Castle. Welcome to another episode of Herb's Comic Book Journey. This week, we're going to tap into Marvel Comics' own The Punisher. Before we dig deep into this, I just want to say that Frank Castle, aka The Punisher, is definitely one of the most vicious. I can't even think of any other words other than just demonic. I mean, he is the epitome of the death penalty. When you think, basically, whenever he's around, you guys better be on your P's and Q's. Best way I could describe it. So, this right here we're going to tap into is the origin story of the Punisher. So, let's start with Frank's childhood. Frank Castillon is a kid in the middle of Queens, and he really doesn't have an eventful life. So he eventually goes into, as he gets older, he goes into the military. As he goes into the military, he gets this rush just going into it. I mean, he's been on numerous tours back in Vietnam, and he went in the first time. He had it was a rush for him. Then he went into his second time after he was the only person to pretty much, because he went to captain status and he went back in. And when he went back in, he basically was, out of his whole entire group, he was pretty much the lone survivor and actually got a kick out of it. Fucking psychopath. But anyway, that's just the thing that he was into. And as he went in for a second one, he was married with his wife, and so he just went back in and took over and got out safe. I mean, still kicking everybody's ass, but got out safe. And he wanted to go back in for a third tour, and everyone was like, "Nah, bruh, not gonna do that." So Frank changed his last name to Frank Castle and went on his third tour. And as that tour came to an end, he came back to his home, not even realizing what the hell was going to go down. He decided to go ahead and take his family to the park one day. And it just so happened that, unfortunately, when he went and went to take them to the park, they witnessed a murder by a mafia. There ain't no running from that. So, unfortunately, the mafia shot all of them up. And in the midst of the mafia shooting everybody up, everybody died. But there was a man who was laying on a bench, asleep, and woke up and heard the commotion, so he called the police. As he called the police, all the paramedic groups and everybody went to go and pick him up. And when they put Frank's body in the body bag, his body just woke up. I mean, he was like, "Nah, I can't die. I'm not dying today." So, tough bastard. Wakes up and goes ahead and beats everybody's ass after he gets out of that damn bag. And so much to the point to where they had to sedate him with 3 shots. 4 people holding him down. 3 shots to finally sedate him. And then he finally was out, as we can say in this situation. So as he was pretty much sedated for the whole entire day, he woke up in the hospital thinking about his wife, Maria, and his kids. So, as he woke up, that's all he could really think about, that the mob was taking out his whole entire family. Devastated, obviously, about the situation. He pretty much got up out of bed, but the only thing about it, as he was getting up out of bed, he felt this cold steel pistol just up against his head. and it was the mob guys that came right back to try to off him. Oh, they did not finish the job on this one, because Frankie came over there and beat the dog shit out of every single one of them. I mean, to the point, just smashed one guy's head into the ground, just beat the other guy's ass to a pulp, and then he just kept wailing on him and wailing on him to the point the way he just screamed out Maria's name, and then in the midst of that happening, the police finally came in. Starting to think like, shit, where the fuck were you guys at earlier? Anywho, getting down to the point, as they didn't arrest him. They did arrest him, but he wasn't charged because they came in right before he could even kill anybody. Yeah, what the fuck? I just don't get it. So eventually Frank would go home. Brooding in all of this, just being angry with his wife and saddened with his wife dying, his kids dying. He just thinking about like, damn, the police is, I'm letting the police do their job. I'm letting everybody else do their job, but shit just still going through. I want revenge. So, eventually the nothing really happened of them, of those guys who was trying to kill him, because they were, the mob had pretty much has the police in their back pocket. And so at this point, it's like, fuck it, I gotta do what I gotta do. So as he's getting ready to take matters into his own hands, I want you to sit back and think about this for a second. What does a guy do when his family has been murdered? He's a war vet, a captain in a war in the military during Vietnam. What do you guys get when you get that? I'll let you go. You get the Punisher. Guess what? This motherfucker is just about to take his matters into his own hands, because this dude is a fucking killing machine. So as he's going ahead and because the only thing he pretty much at this point has is just his ideas. He has nothing else. And guess what? These guys still tried to kill him. Then blew up his fucking house. Yeah. Oh, they're gonna die. At this point, I just want to know, are they gonna die slow or fast? So he at this point, he just doesn't give a damn anymore. He goes ahead, finds a military area where he just pretty much gets all the stuff that he needs, and he finds the only thing as far as clothes wise, other than the pants that he already has on, he finds this military jacket, and it's all black, and makes the most intimidating thing ever. Yep, it's the skull sign for the Punisher. So right after this, he goes ahead and goes to their favorite restaurant. Oh God, what you fucking mobsters! He goes to their favorite spot to go ahead and get something to eat. Only things is, he booby traps the whole goddamn place, and then what do you know? Just sitting there, just waiting on them to enter. Boom! He goes ahead and just takes every single one of them motherfuckers out, one by damn one. And guess what one of the guys says? Why are you doing this to me? Because you fucking deserve it. He didn't say fuck, but because you had it coming. Just offs every single one of them. Then he finally finds the guy who actually did pull the trigger on his whole family. Goes up, grabs him, takes him to the window and says, "You see what I see?" And he's like, "What is it? The police outside?" "No, it's your reflection. It's the very last thing that you're going to see." And he boots him out the fucking window. Fucking savage. I love it. I'm telling you. Anyway. Then he just gets back to thinking about like, hey, I may have to just do this, because people don't need to be getting away with things that they've done. And there is the fucking incredible story of the Punisher. It's an amazing it's an amazing origin story. Very violent. Pretty much this thing takes place basically in the 70s, obviously because of the whole entire Vietnam War situation that I was speaking of earlier, because he was a decorated Marine, military vet. He got numerous awards and everything. So, I mean, you pretty much just took out the closest thing to this man who is a fucking psychopath. So you deserve everything that you got coming to you. He is basically an anti-criminal. An anti-hero who just takes out all the villains. I mean, just looking to kill them at this point. But before we end this this Herb's comic book journey, I like to talk about our sponsor, FnX Fit. And if you guys looked at this past episode of Blurs and Whiskey, you saw that I told you about my first week doing my workouts, doing the regimen, and taking FnX Fit in the midst of it. I got the pre-workout mix. I honestly have to say that, I mean, this ain't just because we're doing a promotion with them. I went and used it, and I haven't done a real workout since December of last year. And I know just walking up and down the steps and everything, I get winded. I took this product, and I can honestly say I had so much energy going back and forth. When I went to take because I got the whey protein shake as well. It tastes good, feel good, feel awesome. I'm not just eating just regular stuff, random stuff that I shouldn't be eating, and followed the regimen. And I honestly have to say, I feel more energetic. I have a clear mind, and I really, really like the product. And I mean, and I'm gonna try to give you guys a weekly update as far as what's going on, taking FnX Fit, and hopefully they can help me out with my workout journey. And like I said, I lost 7 pounds last week by finishing the regimen that I've been doing. I know this is the first week, so I want to tell you guys, stay disciplined when you do this, and FnX Fit works. It really works. But that is about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed her comic book journey this week with the Punisher. And I will see you guys next week. Deuces.